Hey everybody, welcome back. And I know what you're thinking. This plane would probably fly better if the wings were actually on it. Well, we're right in the middle of the annual for the GameBird. Things are going really well, but we found one big issue that we had to deal with, and it's right here. Hey everybody, welcome back to the annual on our GameBird. So I'm going to walk you through the whole annual, show you what we've done, also talk to you about why these wings are off. We had an issue we had to deal with on here. Not terrible issue, but one that had to be addressed, and that's why we had to take the wings off. So I'm going to walk you through the whole annual. We already did the oil change, that's out being analyzed. Did compression checks, did bore scopes, everything looks great. I think we're up in the 80s for all the compressions. We had to take the wings off, and to take the wings off, we had to drain the fuel. So when we drained the fuel out, at the same time, we filtered the fuel into the buckets, and of course we made sure the buckets are clean. And when we put the fuel back in, we're also going to filter the fuel going back into the wings. So I'm going to get to what that issue is in a second, but I want to show you a little bit about other things we did and how the wing system works on the GameBird. It's pretty slick how they do this. It's pretty different from our extra and how that works. So I'm going to walk you through it. The other things we did is we put brand new tires on and brand new brakes. Now in this plane, we did add a taxi camera on here, and we'll go through that in a minute. And that helps eliminate the need to S-turn down the taxiway, but I still do. I still do a little bit S-turning, and I get a little aggressive on the brakes and things. So I think I wear the brakes down more than most people would. So new brakes, new tires. Let's go through the wing system and the fuel tanks and how all this works. So this spar, of course, is fully integrated with this whole carbon fiber wing. So this is one big giant piece here. And I'll go around the other side in a minute and show you how this works. But basically, this side of the wing inserts into the other side of the wing, which we'll show you right here. And then they come together inside the airplane. So let me go around the other side of the wing and show you how it actually comes together and locks together. Okay, so how this works is, like I said, it's like almost like two straws, drinking straws that go inside each other, and that happens inside the airplane. So you got the beefy part of the fuselage here, which ties all the gear in and everything like that. This one goes into the other one and it slides in. Now when it gets in there, we've got a hole here and a hole here, and you can see it from this side. I'll give you a little bit of a light here to give you a little bit of an idea what's going on, so you can kind of see the hole right here that's going through there. So basically what happens is once the wings get in there and get together, these big giant stainless steel pins slide all the way through this inner wing, the outer wing, as well as this fuselage, all at the same time, and then they get locked into place, wire tied, all that kind of great stuff. So it becomes one piece, one fully integrated piece that just cannot come apart. Now on the back side of the wing, if you just come here another foot with me, you've got another little tab right here, and this piece here slides into the back side of the fuselage. Now this is all solid. This is all one piece right here. So that piece goes right in there, and from the inside of the airplane, same thing. A pin slides in there, gets locked into place. So you've got the front two pieces in the front, one back here, all get tied together. So that's a pretty nice way that they've done it. Now on this wing, we have the elevator trim. I should say the aileron trim. So this trim here is this servo in here ties to this wire, which goes right through here and into the electronics. This wing is really pretty simple to take off. You know, you've got your controls here, you got your fuel inputs and stuff here, you got your vents, and another wire right here for the lights on the end, which is great because if you're taking this overseas or you want to crate it up or something like that, you know, the crates become really simple where the fuselage is in one part of the crate, the two wings stand up on the sides, go on the sides of the crate, and they can ship it overseas relatively easy. So pretty good design on how that works. This is where one of the issues were, and I'm going to talk to you about that when we get on the other side of the wing. Let's go over there and talk about it. All right, so the reason I wanted to come over this side, and I'll tell you what's going on, is because I wanted you to see how this side is like the receiver of the other wing. So you can see how it's bigger. So the other wing slides inside of here. So the first thing that happens is this one slides in here. Then the other one, the other wing slides inside of this one. So they're kind of layered on top of each other, and then the fuselage is here and then the pins go in. So I wanted you to see that. Now, here is the big issue that we had. We found out on a few of these planes now that there would be a little bit of a fuel leak. So I saw occasionally down the bottom of the wing a little bit of fuel. Now I couldn't tell it was fuel, but what was happening was there's a fuel sender right here. So this sender gives us our fuel level in the wings. This fuel sender, the gaskets failed on these fuel senders. And when the gaskets failed, you had a little bit, nothing major, not like a ton of fuel coming out, but enough that it just drips a little bit over time. It worked its way down the bottom and you could see it coming out. Now, I didn't know if maybe it was smoke oil or something, because in the extra and in the other planes, really you get some smoke oil residual down there when you fly with smoke oil. So in this annual, they did determine that that was happening. A lot of people say, yeah, all these planes leak fuel. I get it, a lot of them do, but look, I don't like the fact that there's a little bit of a layer of fuel all the way down the belly on the inside of this plane. Anything could happen, a spark from, you know, electronics or something, just not a good situation. So what they had to do is take the fuel sender out. We did not have to replace the fuel sender, but the gaskets is a different way they now install these. I'm not going to get into technical ways and things like that. If you have a plane like this, ask your A&P, but they just did it a different way and where the gaskets go on the inside and the outside, and it gets sealed with sealant as well on both sides. We had to wait 48 hours for this to dry so that now we can leak check it. While the wings are off the plane, we're gonna go ahead and put fuel in the wings, and then we're gonna let that sit for 12 hours and come back and check and make sure. We gave this 48 hours according to the manufacturer here. This stuff tells you should have 48 hours. We actually gave it more than 48 hours. Okay, so that's that fix. Now, let me open up the canopy here and show you the inside of the plane, the fuel tanks and stuff, and what it looks like when the wings are out and where those pins go to put this all back together. We're in the front cockpit right now, and you can see that's the hole, and then the pin goes right here. So basically what we're doing is we're taking these parts here, 3 little screws come off, this panel comes off here, and that's where you get access to the pin to pull the wings off. So really good design. Now also you saw in the wings here, those carbon fiber push rods, that's where these get connected right here. So pull the pins for the push rods here, that disconnects that so you can pull the wings apart. And you can see here actually that you've got the push rods for the elevator in the back. You see that right here? It goes all the way down this tube to the back of the plane. And then of course you got your left, right, and then your carbon fiber push rods will be attached here. Pretty easy to put it back together. Like we said, how the wings come together and get in here. We push the pins in on these sides, and then we put the panels back on, put the front panel back on, and put the seats in. It's not a huge project. It's a pretty good design. Okay, so in the back cockpit here, you can see these 2 panels come off here with the small pins. So you've got the tab on the back side of the wing slides right into this area right here. And then this panel here allows you to get the small pin inside here. And then of course, while this is off, you can kind of see here are your stick and the elevator control surfaces are driven by here. So these are all tied together in one piece. That gives you a little bit of insight inside the back seat of the GameBird. Before we put the fuel in the wings and do the leak check, I want to go ahead and just talk to you a little bit about the taxi camera. Now, we did a full video on this whole install here. We just want to show you kind of how it was wired here. And the thing about the taxi camera is, in this plane, it's pre-wired, but not pre-connected. That's important to know because you need the connections in. So it's at least good that they actually already ran the wire from here with the connector on it that goes to the camera. And you can buy this from the manufacturer. But then when it gets to the back of the panel, the wire's just hanging. And you've got to terminate it there and get it to the panel and stuff like that. I mean, it makes sense. It's smart. Why have that connected up there and it's all out here, even though you could kind of terminate it here? You got another variable in place there. But so we did that. Everybody asks us what we put in this plane for oil. So we are using W100 Plus aero shell. Yes, we are using the Plus, which has the additives in it for corrosion and stuff. And then we also put CamGuard in it too. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to get on here and you can tell me, well, why? You don't need both. This already has everything that's in CamGuard. Yeah, I hear you. I agree, but I talked to engineers. They said it can't hurt to also put CamGuard in there. We just have been doing it for years, and we still do. That's a little bit more about the annual. Went really well. No other squawks. Tires, brakes, senders with a little bit of leak, and that was it. We didn't have to do anything else to the plane because we do keep it up. We take care of it. All right, let's go ahead and put some fuel in these, and we'll get leak checking. like we're saying, everybody, we're going to be putting this side in first, and the left side has to go in first because remember, as we talked about yesterday, it's like a telescope. So the inside of the right is going to go inside this once this is in the fuselage here. In a few minutes, we're draining the fuel out of it. As soon as it gets light enough, we got 3 of us here, and then we're going to go ahead and put the left side in first. So we'll see you in a second. Hey everybody, so the other thing I want to talk about, we talked about the wing and the tank. So of course you got your tank is on the front, the leading edge, and it goes up there. Now, this looks like a tank, but it's a different tank. This is for the smoke oil. And if you notice, we have one on this wing and also another one on the other wing. I think we're about 7.5 gallons of smoke oil that we get in here. So it splits in between the two when we fill it. And if you remember, if you go watch the whole video on how the smoke oil system is in this, we did a whole video on filling the smoke oil tanks. So these are where the smoke oil tanks were. In the extra, our smoke oil tank was actually up here on top. On the GameBird, it's in the wings. And then when it's pulling from the smoke, it's pulling from both sides. So you're not switching tanks or anything like that, which is good. So you've got your tube here with this tank, and it's equally pulling from both sides, so we're keeping the airplane balanced. So as you can see, we've got the wings slid in together, and they leave it about 4 or 5 inches here, so that gives them the ability to connect like the pitot tube, the lights. You've got the wiring for the electric trim that's on this side. You don't have that one on the back side. They're getting all the fuel lines and stuff connected. The wings are sitting in there, but the pins aren't in it yet. And what we do is on this side, we put some grease on the on this side, because remember, it inserts into the left wing. They're both in there. They're not, the pins aren't in them yet, because something that the team here made really clear and important is they want to make sure everything is done, all the electrical works, all the servos, that there's nothing dripping from the lines and stuff like that before they put the pins in. Reason in, because that's like one of the last steps and it's final, and it takes a lot to get those pins in, and then you're putting all the panels back in and stuff. So they wait till the last, one of the last steps with the wings to do that. And by the way, as we always tell you guys, we're lucky enough to have the team from Cilliers Aviation here, and as you guys know, they've handled all of our planes, especially all of our aerobatic planes and stuff. They came down here to Fort Lauderdale to work on this for us, so we're grateful for that. So as you can see, that's together. So we'll get on to the next steps. See you in a few. right, everybody, so that is a wrap. I hope you enjoyed that little annual walk around with that little fix we're doing. Really cool to see the wings off and then it all come together. I just want to do a special thanks to Banyan Pilot Shop. You know, here in South Florida, they're always there taking care of us. When we needed parts and bolts and all that kind of stuff, we literally went right over there and we had it in 10 minutes. So it's always a blessing to have Banyan here supporting us and the Banyan Pilot Shop as well. And by the way, as an E3 member, you get big discounts at Banyan Pilot Shop on anything there. So make sure that if you're an E3 member already, go check that out. So wanted to give that shout out. And guys, we got some really cool videos coming up. We just opened up some spots in the hangar here for more planes. So stay tuned. We're almost there. We're almost signing the deal. And you'll be seeing a couple new planes we'll be sharing with you guys soon. So we'll see you on the next one.